Howdy, this is Zach, and you're watching 90 Church. If you like what you hear or see, take a moment, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Facebook. We're in the midst of our series called The Journey Home, which tells the biblical story of Nehemiah, who traveled to his ancestral home in Jerusalem to rebuild the ruined city walls. Each week we're choosing a word that reflects Nehemiah's journey and how that might look in our own lives. This week, the word is reach. Earlier in the week, Kendall made the point that this whole thing is not really about the wall. All right, Nehemiah was concerned with the people. So yes, to recreate Jerusalem, they had to rebuild the wall, but an equally important part of recreating Jerusalem was to rebuild its people. And so when he saw the opportunity to do that, he did. But it didn't start during the project. In fact, it started much earlier. Check out chapter 5, verses 14 and 15. For the entire 12 years that I was governor of Judah, from the 20th year to the 32nd year of the reign of King Artaxerxes, neither I nor my officials drew on our official food allowance. The former governors, in contrast, had laid heavy burdens on the people, demanding a daily ration of food and wine, besides 40 pieces of silver. Even their assistants took advantage of the people. But because I feared God, I did not act that way. Here we see long, 12 years before Nehemiah was ever called to be a part of this rebuilding project, he was called to fear God and to follow God's ways. This calling is a grand calling. And in fact, the moment that you chose to follow the ways and teachings of Jesus, this calling was placed upon your heart. Perhaps right now you're in a similar situation to Nehemiah. All right, we've spent the last few weeks talking about where God has called you to be, and maybe after weeks of prayer, you simply don't have an answer. You know, that's okay, because you still have the general calling of living a Christ-like life. In fact, this general calling is essential as a precursor to the specific callings. All right, if Nehemiah had not been faithful for 12 years, he would not have had the support of the people when he was called to this grand rebuilding project. If you are in a time right now of seemingly aimless faithfulness, don't despair. All right, this is where you need to be right now. Take joy in the faithful living. And praise God.